Good morning. Welcome to Planet Mojo. In the last episode, I got this stuff done. So I was waiting on my airline stuff, and look what came today. This has a lot of the stuff I need. It even has a cutter. It's got 3 manifolds / ports, a bunch of hanging equipment, some elbows, some a elbow, I believe, a couple T's, and a fitting here to go from the pipe down to a thread. Oh, it's actually got 2 more of those, or 3 more of those on the outlet parts themselves, kind of like this. Today I'm going to unbox this, and I'll just give you a little overview on this other stuff right away. Might be a little windy out here. The bathtub, I threw some of my black shop towels on there, which warmed it up just a bit, probably only 2 degrees, and then I pulled out the big chunk of ice that was in there. And this was actually the bigger problem. This needs to be heated to get all the way back here to this elbow and thaw this out. I'm gonna move the heater in a little bit. This had a big plug. They dropped it on the lawn, or set it on the lawn, and it was up to maybe here into the mud, and then it froze. So I had to thaw the mud, stick my finger up there and pull that mud plug out of there, and now it's thawed all the way back to here. It's just about to the elbow, so I'm going to leave this on just a little bit longer, and that should do it. If it gets cold enough, it'll break this pipe. The ice in there will break this pipe pretty easy. It could break the cast iron too if it gets up a little deeper. That can just break the whole bottom of this tub. So I got to keep snow out of here for the duration of the winter. And I don't want to just put it upside down, because that could scratch the hell out of the porcelain. So I'm just going to put a cover on it. These boards that I was melting the ice off of the other day are just about done. They have little bits left. They actually had a bit of ice on them still, some of them. And once I stood them up on the side of the tin is pretty warm, and out to about here, it's probably 60 degrees. So in a little bit, I'm going to get these out of the sun, because they'll start curling up on me. Get them out of the sun, put them over in the greenhouse, and I think I'll cut those tomorrow. Yeah, I had a business meeting this morning, and I forgot I had it, so today got kind of messed up for me. So I'll get this unboxed. Even though these are not what I was looking for, I should be able to get the dimensions for it. I gotta come through the wall over there. I gotta pull out well, I actually don't have to pull it out. I have to measure a slat wall and kind of get an idea where I want to put the regulator and filters and stuff. I'll show you the haymow here. Okay, not much light in here. So this is what we have left of hay. 9, 10, 11. Oh yeah, we have a good amount of hay in here still, even though it was up to, well, it was actually right up to the door when we started, but it has been going on 3 months now since we loaded this up, I believe. So I have some slat wall, 2 sheets of slat wall, and 2-inch foam here. This foam is the top and bottom of my seedling starter setup. I'm going to show the design. I'm going to do that video today, I guess, because I'm not going to be able to get around to doing much else today. So the slat wall, I just need to figure out where I need to put things. If my little brackets for holding that pipe, wherever them holes are, if they'll fit centered on one of these or if they need to span one of the slats, I got to get that figured out, and then I can get a couple measurements off of this, and I'm going to do a layout on the computer. So I'll show the layout on the computer. I can either do that, or I can bring this in and put it on the ground and lay stuff out on it, which actually would be easier, but I don't have the room in there, and it would be hell to get this in. It's 3/4 inch, so it's incredibly heavy particle board. So I would rather just kind of figure it out on the computer. So I'm going to get that unboxed, and that'll probably have to wrap it up for today. But let's go see what kind of goodies are in there. Okay, got a lot of tape on it. So this is what's inside the box. This is my line, and these are the fittings and the hangers. I'll get to the instructions in a little bit, but from what I can remember about this is that you got to kind of lay it out, get it laying flat on the floor or whatever, get rid of some of this coiled up memory, and this stuff can be bent with a pipe bender, I believe. So I'm sure the instructions are in the box there, so let's check it out. What did not come was the actual fitting for going through the wall, but I believe you can go through the wall. I believe there's a hole on the back of this one as well. I don't know if there's a difference at all. So let's get this one open. I think I hear the UPS guy out there right now. That other block, manifold, whatever you want to call it. I'll have to see what the hell they're calling it. That should be here. Here is I think this is to enlarge the tube before you put it together. I believe that's what that is. These are heavy. Yeah, that's pretty well made. 2 T's. I'm going to leave them in there, but I will give you a close-up when I get to it. Okay, 3 of these adapters. It goes from pipe thread to compression fitting, and it looks like I did get the wrong. I got a 3/4 inch nipple, brass nipple for going through the wall, but I don't know. I might just use some of their blue pipe. That way I can get it to the exact length, and I can take this back. This is like $9. And then I got a brass elbow as well, which is also pretty expensive. But these fittings are actually way more expensive than that. These are like $30 a pop, I believe. Really expensive. So I got one more of these in there. 4, just like I thought. Got some O-rings. these are the mounts. I'm going to open this up and take one of them with me. Actually, I really don't need to. They just have a screw hole centered on them. So that answers that question. They're not going to span a slot on the slat wall. They are going to be in the center of it. And hopefully that works out well with all of the other stuff. You know, my regulator and all that stuff. Okay, I actually have a couple of these in the house. I have a air line built into the walls in the house. So when I'm doing work, I'll have to show you that. I have a chuck that is outside. All I need to do is jumper over from a compressor to a chuck outside, and I have air, compressed air, throughout the house. So I can do molding and all that stuff. Hi, cat. So 3 of these are cast aluminum, or not cast aluminum, they're extruded. This one looks a little wonky. Oh, maybe not. This is an aluminum extrusion that is just bored out and threaded. And it does have the back pass-through, so I don't know what... They have a different part number, so I don't know why the separate one I ordered. What makes it different? Maybe it just doesn't come with all the extra stuff. So they have a plug, and they have a little drain piece, and you can run that to a bucket or something if you want to, because water will accumulate in the bottom of these. So this is a valve right here, goes on the bottom. Okay, and that's a smaller thread. This is the same thread here, 3 of them. Okay, and here's the cutter. It looked like it was like steel from the drawing, but you can tell it's pot metal, or doesn't seem real strong, but hopefully it's enough to get the job done. Let me see if I can see my... Oh, they're calling it a block here. Okay, where is that? NPT plugs. Yeah, kitty. Okay. Okay, down. Good kitty. Alright, I'm still trying. Okay, they just call them aluminum blocks. Okay. This is MaxLine. You can see it here too. And the other one, I forget the name of the other one, but the other one comes in straight, solid sections. I think they're like 10 feet long, which would have been nice, but this will do the trick. So I'm going to go see if my other block came, and then I'm going to grab a couple of these and use these to do a diagram and figure out where everything has to go. Let me just show you this. I have this air compressor here, or air compressor. I have this hose reel right here that has to be mounted right near it. So I have to get some dimensions off of that and figure the whole thing out. Yeah, I might just bring that panel in here and lay it out on the panel itself. It'll be hard as hell to get through all this stuff, but I don't know, maybe the cat will help. Okay, I pulled one of the slat walls in here so I could get stuff laid out. I got the hose reel on it. This might work out in my favor. The air inlet's here so I can whip around and go to the regulator up here. Probably move this down a little bit. And like I said, that's a 3-unit thing on there. And I need to come down to a drain down lower. The air inlet's going to come across the panel. It's going to go down over to the drain, into a T above the drain, then go up, back over, and up into the air thing there, the regulator. That'll give that amount of line before the regulator will allow the air to cool off. If you're running a paint gun or something like that, anything that where you're blowing constantly and the machine's running constantly, the air can get pretty damn hot. So you want to cool that off before the regulator and the filters and stuff. So this will take up 2/3 of the wall, then it'll have another piece going all the way back into the corner. So I need I need a whole one and a half one to fit what I need. So I might rip a narrow strip off of it and put it below it, which would be along that big fat post there, just as a shim. Not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet, but let me go get I got the regulator and all that stuff in the house. I was looking at it last night. Let me pull that off and get the dimension where I want the line to come through the panel, and let me see if we got something big. I can see a big box by the door. Oh, that's my I ordered a fire, I don't know what the hell they're called. It's a flap, a rubber flap on a long handle, and you use that when you're lighting your grass on fire, your prairie grasses, and you use that to rub the fire out. Yeah, I'll unbox that at another point, but let me go see if the other stuff is there. Okay, let me see if I can explain this. I got this slat wall out of the container there and just opened the door and laid it right on the table saw so I could lay this out. Okay, these upper panels, the slat wall, first there's going to be 2 solid layers of drywall with green glue between them. Then the entire upper part is going to have slat wall on them with green glue behind it. The green glue is vibration dampening. Okay, so this slat wall right here, it'll be 48 inches, 4 feet to the bottom of this. This stuff will be where it's at, but this will be, nearly 4 feet down. This will be closer to the ground, as well as this. This will be right above it somewhere. The air line will curl up from the compressor, come through the wall, and then go down and across at the bottom where it'll come into this, and then this will be below it. So any water at that point that gets to it will drop down into this. This is a water separator. Then how does that go? Oh, then the air will come here and then up again, and any water will drain down. The up again, it'll come up, over, and up through here. The reason this has to be over towards the edge, and this is where it's at, is that the rolling cabinet, the workbench and other stuff will just be in about that far. This can't be behind the workbench because it'll sit out like that, and then the workbench is way too far away from the wall. So it'll just come, the line will come in here, come up, and I'll just bend the line, I believe, and then bend it again, and I'll come up here and go into the first filter and air filter, mist separator that gets rid of the oil, and then this is the regulator. And then it'll have spot regulators, or not regulators, but separators if needed. Because of the distance of this line, it should cool it off enough by the time it gets to here that most of the water has already dropped down into here, or because of the arc on the line over here, inside of the room it's going to arc up and come to here. Any water that separates on the inside will drip down into the tank, which has an automatic water drain, and then this stuff will all make its way into here. Everything that's on this side of the wall before this air filter here, all of that stuff will make it down into here. So then it comes through, and then up here, this stuff will be below, way down here, so we'll get it out of the way. This will have the blue line coming over. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do this. I might just put a regular tee on here instead of the hose tees, because I can do this all with standard nipples. A nipple coming down to this, and then a nipple going across to a tee. And then I would just need one of these from going from the tee. I would just put one of these in there and then transition back to the blue line there. Then it would go up and use one of these. These are like $35, I think. A regular galvanized or black iron tee is $1 or so. So I don't need to start the blue line until I get up here. So I think I'll do that. And I'm not sure if I need to use galvanized or not. Then right here is a drain for this line, and this will have a chuck right here. I'm not going to put this here because it's too busy here. That line, the line that goes down to this stuff here, will come out here and then come back up here, so that I can see all of it from around the bench. So just too busy to put this there. I had originally planned to put it over here somewhere, but it's getting kind of busy there as well. So maybe I'll just make a mount for it and put it right here or somewhere. It can go anywhere, but I need straight access. I could put it down right in here. That can be figured out later. Once I get the lines going, I can figure out where that'll go. And it looks as though this, the diameter on here, I believe this is 1 inch outside. It looks as though it's the same or real close to my PEX line. So I need to run a PEX line over that way to get to the urinal over there. And this company, RapidAir, makes a bracket that'll hold 2 or 3 different lines. So that might be the way to go. Put the water and the air line on the same multi-bracket, at least going across there, and then they got to part ways on air, or no, actually air and water are going to go over to the sink there. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Okay, so I just made some little hash marks here. Right here is where the blocking is in the wall, just this big spot right here. The only thing I want to make sure that is in full blocking is this, because this is 3/4 inch particle board, and then behind that is 1 inch of drywall. None of that is super strong. I want to get into solid wood. So I want to be able to screw through all of that and into solid wood behind it, because this might, joggle around. You have to push these up. I believe they do it automatically as well. But these are the drains. So I have drain line here. And I have a bunch of fittings for that. This is 7mm, so these will both come down, come across, and I will probably strap them, zip tie them right to the airline that's coming up right here and going over. So that's about it. And this, I got this marked, that'll get pre-drilled, and when this is all in place, this will be right near my eye level, and it'll be a little too high for kids to get at it. So I don't want a kid, there's rarely ever kids here, but I don't want some kid starting to play with the regulator and turn it all the way up. You have to pull down, then turn it, so maybe they won't be able to figure that out. But if they're big enough to reach that, they're big enough to know better. Same thing with the emergency stop. I put that off to the side, and the bench will be here, so that'll be hard to get at as well. And that's probably about it. Took a lot of time today doing other stuff. I had hoped to get the drywall on there because I have 4 sheets of drywall here and I need 6. So I got to get to Menards and get the other drywall right away so I can keep moving on this. Oh, I need more actually inside the room too. So I got to get more drywall. I got to get more green glue and get this done. I would really like to have it up by the end of the week. So hopefully tomorrow I can go get that stuff. Okay. So I got the layout figured out. I'm going to leave my lines on here and rub them off when I'm done. And let me see, let's double check on this. My wood, which is standing up over here, is completely dry. It's just down to the treatment. Actually, a little bit of the treatment dried off as well. So no more ice on them. I'm going to move them over the greenhouse. Oh, I got to get that cut too. I have to cut all my material for the bench real soon as well. Spring is coming really quick. So that'll wrap it up for today. It's going to be pretty interesting seeing this this MaxLine. I believe that's the name. Let's just double check. It's on a different flap. Yeah, oh, nice picture of it there. But I'm pretty sure it's MaxLine. Yep, MaxLine. It'd be interesting to see how this goes in. It might be a little difficult because of the cold. It's not super cold today. It's about 20, I think it's about 28 today. But by the time I can get working on this, it's going to be much colder. So hopefully that stuff I can just bring that in the house, I guess. Keep it warmed up and then just blast heat with this right in the area while I'm working. All I need to do is get up to the last fitting, and that's good enough. I can put the rest of the line in on a nice day. I just need to get this wall in so that I can move all this stuff back over there, put stuff on the shelves, and get my tractor back. Lots to do. So if you want to see this stuff go together, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click on notifications. Thanks for watching and have a great day.